And welcome back to Inside Hoopsteria. Today, we're talking about the Great Eight as it is set to start today. We're going to be looking at the two games slated for today. We're going to be previewing these games and what to watch for. And so let's go ahead. Let's jump over to the bracket. And starting in the East region, the first game of the night, we have SMU versus Louisville. And let's start with Louisville, what to look for from them and just really what to look for from SMU and just really what the predictions are here. And so starting with Louisville, I think that the bottom line for them has been star power. I think that when you look at the two stars that they have been spectacular throughout this tournament because between Pooh Lewis and Kadarius Loftus, both of these players have combined for 151 points. They literally have been like a ping pong machine out there, just lighting up baskets. And so you love what they're doing as far as scoring the basketball. And defensively, they've been solid as well. And so that leads me to the next point here with Louisville. Look, this team does not turn the basketball over that often. In fact, in all three games that they played here in Hoopsteria, they have been under double digits as far as turnovers. And so what that tells me is you're looking at a team that has been super efficient on the offensive end. And so calling a couple of their games, I can tell you that, look, their out of timeout adjustments have been great. Just really making sure that players are moving with a purpose, getting them to the areas on the floor to take advantage of defenses. They've been spectacular there. And I just think that on the fly in the half court, Louisville collectively, they've been making great decisions out there where it's really come down to them making a basket or it's been a miss, but that's fine. They're not going out there and beating themselves. And so that is a key stat moving forward in tonight's game. This is a team that traditionally has not turned the basketball over. Next with them, I think another thing to look for in this game is that this is a team that has not shot under 40% all tournament. And so that's just lets you know just how good Pooh Lewis has been, along with Kadarius Loftus and the others. These guys have not missed a lot of shots. And so they have not shot under 40% all tournament. And so that's the thing that you want to look for in tonight's game. And I just think, aside from the stars, you've been getting some good contributions from Randy Orton. He's done some things for this team. DeMarco Graham has done some great things. Jolly Harper, and then also too Jean Pierre. Like all these guys have contributed to go along with the stars. And that's all you want at this time of the year in Hoopsteria. You know that your stars are going to come to play, but it's the others that step up on a given night. And that's exactly what we are seeing from Louisville. And so the things that I wonder about with Louisville now as we move forward, because it's going to be the minor things, I think, that could end up sending a team home. But they've only won the rebound battle once. And I wonder about that moving forward. Is that going to be something that can really send Louisville home? Because remember, if a team is able to out-rebound you and then they're able to take advantage of that, they're getting extra possessions. And so that could be Louisville's downfall. That's one of the things that you want to look forward to in this game to see if they're able to somehow, some way win the rebounding battle. I think moving forward, that's going to be huge for them. But other than that, this team has been pretty spectacular. I think this is going to be a great game. And so next, let's shift focus here and let's look over here at SMU and the things that they have done well and what has gotten them to this point. And I think that we have to start with Cam Jones. I think that Cam Jones has been spectacular, along with Maury Washington, who has been terrific as well. And then also, too, McCollum Duval. Like all these guys have been great. They've all scored double figures. And combined, they've gone for 134 points between all of them. And so this is a trio that has really gotten it done for SMU. Whenever they've needed a basket, they've gone to those three. And I've really been impressed with Maury Washington. He's led them in rebounding as well as contributing inside and just really just commanding a lot of attention in the paint. I just think that, look, SMU, they really have a balanced attack with the way that they can get you with the inside out type of game. And so that is something that you want to watch for in tonight's game. Next with them, look, this is a team that has only shot under 50% one time. And so they have been super efficient as well, a lot like Louisville. And so that is one of the things that you wonder about. Is this the game where SMU goes cold? Because if they do go cold, there's a chance that they could be going home as well. And then the next thing that I worry about with them is that they've been out rebounded 2 of their 3 games. I think that that's something that could absolutely catch up to them in this next game out. And lastly, in game 1, they had 15 turnovers. Game 3, they had 10 turnovers. And so this team cannot afford to turn the basketball over at a high clip if they are going to advance. And so this is going to be a terrific basketball game. Like I said before, if you're looking at it just from just one stat there to look at, SMU has turned the basketball over a bit more than Louisville. And so that could be a major key in tonight's game. And so next, let's move over to the other side of the bracket here as we take a look at the last game of the night. And this is a game that I'm super excited to definitely see, because this is the first time that I get a chance to see Corey Yams in person. And so you have Alabama versus Arizona in the Southern region. That's going to cap off the night. And so let's go ahead and let's start with Arizona and just the things that we want to look for in that game with Arizona. And so I think that the first thing here with Arizona, it's going to be Corey Yams, because Corey Yams has been terrific for this team. He's been a double-double machine in 2 of their 3 games, and he's really done a great job as far as giving Arizona an interior presence. And if you guys have listened to me on the broadcast, you listen to me here, I think that when you have a team that can attack you from the inside out, or vice versa, as long as you have an inside presence, I think that you have some good floor balance and you're able to attack a bit more on the offensive end. Like, I think you're not limited as much. And so Arizona intrigues me because you do have Corey Yams, who can really take off like that inside and be a big that is a rim runner as well. So he puts a lot of pressure on opposing bigs. And so what I loved in his last game is, yes, I know Sherwood definitely is going to have, the major statistical game, and we look at that and the wow factor and all that stuff like that. But I thought that Corey Yams was terrific there, despite going through the foul trouble. I think that he made a ton of great passes that were connector passes that moved the basketball along to his other key players out there to hit some major shots. And so that's what I like about Corey Yams. As talented as he is, he's making winning plays out there. And so he's going to be critical for Arizona if they're going to move on against Alabama. Next up for them, I think that, Juan Valentine is going to have to continue to play well. He's been a terrific source of offense for Arizona. I think, he's going to have to continue to get some points out there for this team to move on. And so between those two, they're going to be huge. And I think for them, the thing that I wonder about with them is that, they shot 42 and 50% the last 2 games, but they only shot 29% in game 1. And I'm talking about their 3-point percentage. And so I know shooting the 3 ball isn't everything, but I do think that Arizona is going to have to show us what type of team they are. They're going to have to knock down the 3 ball as time goes along here. You want to definitely be consistent there. And so I know it's only 1 game, but like I said, we're to the point now in the tournament where there's minor things that could send you home there. And then lastly, with Arizona, this is something that I'm going to wonder about going into this game. They lost the turnover battle significantly. Remember, it took them till the very last, not even second. I mean, the ball was in the air and the horn was going off and they won the game. It took them to the last moment to win the game, but 16-6 in the turnover battle. So only 6 turnovers for Iowa, 16 turnovers for Arizona. You cannot turn the basketball over like that and expect to advance. And so let's see if Arizona can clean that up against Alabama. And so that leads me into the last team of the night here that is going to be in this game, obviously, and that is going to be Alabama. And what are the things that we need to look for from them? And so I think it starts with just DJ Childs, number 1. I think that DJ Childs has been really spectacular in this part of the season. I think that his ability to not only score the basketball, but also to be an assist guy, to get the turnovers defensively. Like, we're seeing everything from DJ Childs. Like, he's played both sides of the ball. He's really recovered from that ankle injury that he's had, and he's really come into his own. But aside from him, look, you've been getting some great contributions from Quincy Henderson, also too, Rodrigo Falls has been playing well too. Like, all those guys have been absolutely hooping. Combined, they've had 137 points combined between all three of these guys. And so another terrific trio of just players that have been getting it done here. And so for them, what I've been very impressed with Alabama, this is a team that has not turned the basketball over more than 5 times. Okay. And so that is incredible. That lets you know how efficient that Alabama is on the offensive end. Like, they literally get you to a point where they're either making the basket or it's off the rim, it's a rebound or whatnot. And that's fine, but they're not beating themselves. And so Alabama, they're going to have to continue to play that well. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be able to play that disciplined. If they can, I think that that's a team that you have to favor in tonight's game. But if Arizona can somehow figure out a way to speed them up, whether it's going to be traps, full court press, whether it's a zone, whether it's something to get them out of their comfort level, maybe you get it to where their 4s and their 5s have to get into situations where maybe they have to make some decisions, and maybe they're not ready to make those decisions, and it leads to turnovers. You get in the transition, you get extra possessions. But if Alabama doesn't turn the basketball over, they're going to be awfully hard to beat. And I think one of the things that you want to look at with them is that the last game out, they only shot 16% from 3. The other 2 games, they were at 50%. Remember, look, shooting the 3 ball isn't everything, but at this point in time, look, you cannot have another game where you shoot 16%. I think for them to advance, they're going to have to shoot a lot better in this next game up here. So anyway, you guys let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking about tonight's games as they get ready to kick off. And remember, as we're looking at these teams, I mean, you're at a point in time in the season where you're asking yourself more about what is right with these teams versus what is wrong. There is not a whole bunch to look at that you look at statistically and say, man, they have flaws here and they have flaws there. No. You're getting to the best of the best right now. And this is what we love about Hoopsteria. And so anyway, you guys let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking. And as we always say, look, see the game and be the game. Make sure that you stay locked in across the network and be engaged. All right, guys, we'll see you. Peace.